All right. First of all, I want to wish you all a happy new year. I hope that 2016 is a fresh and new year for you and a chance to do something different. As we cross over into New Year's and the first couple weekends in January here, everybody's talking about New Year's resolutions, all the different things that we're going to do to make ourselves better and improve ourselves for this coming year. And I've always been fascinated by the psychology behind New Year's resolutions. So here's some statistics from a University of Scranton study that was published in the Journal of Clinical Psychology. 45% of Americans usually make a New Year's resolution. So that's about half of us make some sort of resolution to change something about ourselves. And the top 5 resolutions for last year from this study, number 1 was to lose weight. Number 2 was getting organized. Number 3 is spending less and saving more. That shows you where I'm at. And enjoying life to the fullest and staying fit and healthy. Those are the top 5. So when we start to talk about New Year's resolutions, you say, well, yeah, but how many people actually stuck with them? And from this study, what they found was, not surprisingly, about 8% of people were successful in achieving those resolutions that they had set for themselves at the beginning of the year and following through to the end of the year. But there was one more statistic in this study that I found very, very interesting. And that was that people who explicitly make a New Year's resolution are 10 times more likely to attain their goals than people who don't. So while we can easily try to write off New Year's resolutions as, well, yeah, everybody makes those, but nobody follows through with them, the data shows that making those resolutions and making your goals clear to yourself actually has a huge impact on whether or not you make that change in your life. Setting goals and resolving to follow through with them can make a big difference. And while these goals may be great, this year, I'm hoping that we can take our resolutions and our goals that we're setting for ourselves into a larger context. You know, those resolutions like losing weight and getting organized, saving more money and spending less. These are great goals. They're amazing goals. And we tend to, during New Year's resolution time, kind of look inward and try to think of ways to make ourselves better. And I think we can also do that while making the lives of the people around us better. And I think we can honor God by being better humans through our resolutions in 3 different ways. The first way is to be better friends. Let's resolve to foster and grow real relationships this year. Close friends are becoming more and more rare in people's lives. If you have 2 people in your life that you consider close friends, you're actually in the minority. If you have no people that you consider close friends, you're not alone. Many Americans don't have any people in their lives that they consider close personal friends that they get to interact with on a regular basis. And I certainly think that our technology has given us the opportunity to sort of disconnect and take each of those relationships on our terms, which makes them a little less authentic at times. And we tend to lose the closeness and connection of those real relationships that we have to be so intentional about caring for and cultivating. So let's be better friends this year. Let's reach out to the people in our lives that we care about and remind them with a note or a text message or a phone call and say, hey, let's go grab some coffee because I want to know what you're doing. I want to know where you're at. Let's make sure that the people in our lives know that we care about them and we can share God's love with those people that are special to us. They're the people that it's easiest to share God's love with. And if we can get used to doing that, then maybe we can show that love to more and more people. But we can start by being better friends to the people that we care about. Number 2 for a resolution is to be better family members. I know it's easy for me to get wrapped up in the things that I do to provide for my family. And sometimes as I do that, I forget to stop those things and actually spend real time with them. Making that time to spend with our families is so important. And for some of you, the families that we're talking about may not be your blood-related relatives, but they may be those people that are so close to you and you are so intimately connected that they are your family. Our lives are getting busier and busier and busier as the years go on. There are more and more distractions coming our way. So many things vying for our attention that sometimes we don't even realize the things that we're giving priority to. I know I just recently moved a whole bunch of social media apps off of the home screen of my phone because they were monopolizing my time where I should have been having conversations with people, some real meaningful conversations. Instead, I'm sitting there flipping through my Twitter feed. And I'm resolving this year to, when I sit down with my family, to take my phone out of my pocket and put it away so that I can be there and be present with them. It means we have to be intentional about creating that time to cultivate those relationships with the people that are most important to you, whether that be your spouse or your children or your parents. But those relationships don't happen by accident. They happen on purpose. And this year, let's resolve to make sure that those relationships are better and stronger as we go into next year through our actions today. And the third thing that I'd like to resolve to do is to be better disciples. Let's resolve to be the church God has called us to be. I hear people tell me all the time, no, you'll never catch me in a church. Churches are full of hypocrites. And most of the time, when I hear people say that, I say, yeah, you're right. Because churches are made up of people, and none of us are perfect. In fact, all of us are broken in some way, and that's why we come to God. So He can restore us and renew us and change us, make us better humans, so that we can go out into the world and tell others about the amazing grace that we find in Him. That's what church is all about. It's not about just coming together on a Sunday morning and following a set of rules and making a thing happen and then everybody goes home. Church is a place where we cultivate relationships, we build families, we build better friends, better families, and become better disciples so that we can share God's love with the world over. And sadly, that's not the way people outside the church typically see it. And I think that's our fault as church people. So let's resolve to be better disciples and make church meaningful. This year, each of us will commit to lean into God's call in our lives, whatever that looks like. If you want some more information, I often hear people tell me that they don't know what God's call on their life is. Well, you can go to faithpointum.org/basecamp. And this is from a series that we did a month or so ago that we're trying to help people kind of narrow down what that call might be. And we have some worksheets that you can fill out and send back to us, and we will try to help you discern through prayer and careful consideration what God's call on your life might be. So we'll do everything we can to help you identify that. And so faithpointum.org/basecamp, just as a side note. Let's be a church that reaches back out into the communities that surround our buildings, meeting places, or websites, whatever they may be, and be forces for good, forces for change, places that shine the light of God into dark places and start bringing restoration to our communities. In Paul's first letter to the Corinthians, he speaks about running the race to win. And I love this passage. In 1 Corinthians 9:26 and 27, which Jill read for us earlier, Paul says, "So now this is how I run, not without a clear goal in sight. I fight like a boxer in the ring, not like someone who is shadow boxing. Rather, I'm landing punches on my own body and subduing it like a slave. I do this to be sure that I myself won't be disqualified after preaching to others." This year, let's resolve to not be somebody's excuse to ignore the church. Let's be the body that's resolved to be better friends, better family members, and better disciples. In doing so, I don't think God's amazing grace can be ignored. Let's be better humans.